Good evening, everybody, and welcome to War Thunder's website. It took me a while to decide to create this video, and there will be several additional follow-ons for it coming in the next day or two, just because it is so late to get started. I wasn't going to address the new World War mode until I saw it in person, until they released, well, this. These are the prize vehicles for the upcoming World War mode. I've not had the time to go through and detail them, but we're looking at an M60 AMBT, which is a modernized version of the M60. It's faster, got a better engine, got a 120mm gun. It looks interesting in that regard, but I do not expect it to be a game changer. They did mention it is a 10.0 vehicle. They have expanded the top tier to 10.7. I'm not quite convinced that this vehicle will sustain that BR, but, it is what they've chosen to do. The other premium aircraft will be an IL-2 M82. This is an actually down-rated engine version of the IL-2 that was in limited production, as far as I understand. I'll get further details when I actually do a video on these prize aircraft. I'm interested in the M60 AMBT, despite the fact that I hate driving M60s. They're in game. They just never feel like they're meta, if you know what I'm saying. But I'll come back to that in the next day or so with additional on the vehicles that will be the rewards for activity in World War mode. So today we're going to start with the what's new in the season. In future video, I'll go through the two scenarios that they have listed out as being involved in the new season. But short summary: Middle East, Fulda Gap, that type of area, and they're looking at those wars as the inspiration for those areas of conflict, I should say, as inspiration for the latest World War mode season, Road to the West. It's starting July 1st, so be ready for it. Any player can join the World War battles. Even if you don't have the required vehicle, you'll be granted a fully researched vehicle of the necessary classes to use. You will not get a spaded crew for it, but you will get a spaded vehicle. So at least that's a positive. It lets you participate even if you haven't ground out these vehicles to get started. The big changes coming here. Realistic difficulty. They're going to basically make the battle difficulty the same as Tank RB. That's the mode I use the most, but I think our arcade players might be a little bit frustrated right off the bat with no markers to start with. And it says here, an interesting way of phrasing it is no markers, instead new technologies. Modern combat equipment features advanced systems for acquiring and locking on a target. Use them all to gain superiority in battle. Don't forget to bind keys for the effective features of your vehicle or use a multifunctional menu. This makes it sound like there's new things coming with World War mode. However, on the forums, they clarify they're talking about a technology that's already in the game: laser rangefinders, night vision, thermals, smoke, all features that have been used in the modern era of War Thunder tanks. So this is a very marketing speak paragraph, but it's basically just referring to all the existing rangefinders and things like that. So don't get hung up on that. The battle interface. The old interface was awful for a random player. I tried to join in the old one, and it's like, you'd click on a battle and you say, like, this one doesn't start for 12 hours, or you'd click on a different thing and be like, and you try to join it and it wouldn't work, and it was just a mess. Hopefully it'll basically gives you an option. You pop in, you hit join battle, and it will just plain put you in a battle, kind of like the matchmaker for regular Tank RB. So that's some changes there. Keep an eye on that. This one will be an interesting one for World War mode commanders. The new Army type of helicopters. Helicopters will be able to be used as reinforcement for ground battles. In addition, they will have since they are a special unit type, they will only be able to use helicopter airfields. They won't be able to use any other locations like regular airfields for deployment. And they can pick up and reposition an infantry army potentially behind enemy lines. So that would increase the mobility of your army units, your infantry army units, in ways that could actually really turn the tide of some of these World War mode battles. Keep an eye on this, commanders. Let us know how it turns out. That's what the comments section's for. Give us an idea how that's coming along when it comes in. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. Also, they mentioned right here that a helicopter army will not take the aircraft slot in a battle, so you can still deploy aircraft to a battle even after you use a helicopter unit to reinforce a battle. This is another big one. Xbox and cross-platform multiplayer. It's taken a while. I know there's a lot of legal things not legal things, but contractual things they had to work through to make that happen. For those Xbox players that are looking to join in on the World War mode season and want to be able to play with other people, there's the instructions right there. Go into settings, account, privacy and security, Xbox Live privacy, details, communication, and then select allow under the point of you can play with other people outside of Xbox Live. Enjoy that complicated chain. It's on the screen. And this section, I'm just going to quickly read it to you. The requirements for receiving awards for squadron players achieving a prize placing in World War mode has been increased. You will now need to play no less than 100 battles in operations in your squadron to receive an award. A surrounded army can no longer destroy enemy aircraft and helicopters at an enemy airfield. The sound of artillery fire on the global map has been added. I think that's that sounds like more of a environmental change rather than a practical one. The volume of the victory defeat sounds in the operation have been reduced. Also, the volume of the victory defeat and start of the battle sounds on the global map have been reduced, probably just to make them more inline and less peaks and valleys. The progress indicator of the ground convoy and respective missions has been improved. Their distance, which has already been traveled, will now remain on the map and will be shown with a gray line. And the current position of the convoy will be highlighted with a flickering line. So, they've already done devblogs on the scenarios here. Chinese Farm, which was a Arab-Israeli war battle. And Fulda Gap, which of course never was a battle, but it sure was tense around there. And I'll go over those when in the next day or so here, just to be prepared for it. Originally, I wasn't excited about World War mode. I'm still a little on the fence on it, but if I can get one of these, one of these M60 AMBTs, that might make it worth the time in World War mode to join in. I don't know if I'd even qualify because I'm not a squadron in a squadron that's active in World War mode. But I'll give it a shot and see what happens. Maybe I'll get a nice shiny new modernized MBT sort of out of it. So let me know what you're thinking about the upcoming World War mode. Are you excited about it? Are you ready for it? Are you apprehensive? Or is it just going to be another time sink that gets in your way, getting your war bonds? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a great rest of the day.